Hi, my name is Casey Walcott. I'm the executive chef at the Sea Venture restaurant in Pismo Beach, California. Today I'll be cooking my signature dish. I call it the Sea Venture. It's a mix between paella, bouillabaisse. It's just a seafood dish with all these ingredients in it. We have scallops, mussels, salmon, shrimp, clams, abalone, and locally produced andouille sausage. And we'll start right away with the risotto that's going to be going in it. It's going to be a saffron risotto. So we're going to get 1 tablespoon of garlic, chopped garlic. Throw it right in there. 1 pinch of saffron, large pinch, goes a long ways. You don't, it's really expensive, so be careful with it. Put that in there. Maybe a tablespoon of olive oil, extra virgin. I'm going to saute that a little bit. Some salt and pepper. And we're going to throw the risotto in and brown it just a little bit. So we'll let that cook for a couple seconds there. So that was 1 cup of risotto. And we're going to cook this al dente, so it's not going to be your traditional creamy risotto. So, got that nice and warm. We'll add 2 and about 1/4 cups of water to it. Bring that to a boil. And it's pretty much there already, so we're just gonna turn it down to a simmer and let that just hang out there while we're making the sauce for the dish. Now we're gonna be making tomato fumet with some lobster stock. We're gonna start sweating some celery, diced celery, some red and yellow bell peppers, and we're gonna put some chopped garlic in there, about 2 tablespoons. So that was a 1/2 cup of bell peppers and 1/2 cup of celery. We're gonna put 1 teaspoon of cayenne pepper in there. It's gonna be nice and spicy. So, and then 1 teaspoon of paprika, maybe about 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. And we'll get that up to a simmer. And also I have some tomatoes that I peeled and then I roasted in the oven for a little bit. So I'm using pretty much all local ingredients. We're lucky here on the Central Coast to be able to go to the fish market and pick up the fresh fish. You know, we have Morro Bay that has amazing fish markets. Port San Luis, you can, go out on the wharf and pick out your fish that you want. We have a lot of organic around here, and it's really good to concentrate on organic produce. Spend that extra money and buy some good vegetables and support your local farmers. That's key. Right here in San Luis Obispo County, we have wonderful farmers markets. My favorite 2 are Thursday nights in San Luis Obispo. They close down one of the main streets, and it's a fun time. Food, stuff for the kids. And then another one that I go to every weekend usually is the one in Templeton. It's Saturday mornings. If you're around on those days, please check it out. So we're just sauteing these, sweat them out a little bit, make them a little translucent. We're gonna add some dried oregano. I dried some oregano, put that in there. We'll pick some fresh thyme. Just chop it coarsely. We'll add that right into there. About, say, 2 tablespoons, no, 1 tablespoon, we'll say. You know, salt and pepper is to taste, whatever you like. I would start with a little bit, and then, you know, after you make this dish, you know, add. You always can add salt and pepper. Can't take it away. So we'll put that in there. And we're gonna add 1 pint of lobster stock. You can use any stock, clam, fish, whatever you like, chicken if you want. Just throw that right into there. And then we're gonna throw our stewed tomatoes diced right inside there. We'll let that heat up a little bit, and then we'll finish it off. So this is a dish, you could put whatever you want in it. You could put chicken in it, you could put beef in it. All right, so we have that up to a simmer. We're gonna add 3 tablespoons of tomato paste. Throw it in there, mix it around. So the tomato paste will give it a nice thick consistency. All right. While that's cooking a little bit longer, we'll chop up some sausage for a dish. So I got this sausage from a friend actually in Paso Robles that makes some sausage. Just chop this up. Set that off to the side. And in this pan, we're gonna add a teaspoon of garlic, 1 teaspoon of shallots. And we're gonna saute our shrimp and scallops and all that goodness in here. Wish you could smell this. This smells great. Like I said, I use the lobster stock with it. That's the best way to go. If you can make your own, or I wouldn't say go out and buy the base, but that also works too. Key to cooking fish, anything that you're gonna cook in a pan, you want a nice hot pan so it doesn't stick to the pan. If it's sticking to the pan, your fish is gonna fall apart, and you know, that's not what we want. So what I'm adding to this is some clams, some scallops, shrimp, salmon, and mussels. And also I have some local abalone. We're lucky enough here on the Central Coast to have the largest abalone farm in the United States. So on my way to work, I go and I stop by probably once every 2 weeks, pick up some fresh abalone. So it's really nice. Pan's nice and hot. We're gonna add the shrimp. Add the shrimp and the salmon first. Those are gonna take the longest to cook. Make sure it's not sticking to the pan. All right. Meanwhile, we're gonna put the scallops in there. Let that simmer a little bit. Saute. Working with abalone, it's really hard. It cooks in about 60 to 90 seconds. So we're gonna slice this into strips. And if you notice, this abalone was like a black color. It's called rustic, and that means they just pull it right out of the shell and pound it without rinsing it or anything. Gives it more of an ocean flavor, you could say, but you also can get the standard abalone. We're not going to cook these all the way through because we're going to add it to our sauce over here and it's going to finish cooking. So at this point, add your sausage, warm it up. This was smoked already, so it's fully cooked. A little bit of salt and pepper. Some red chili flakes. And when you're choosing your mussels and your clams, if you notice sometimes they're open, but to check if they're still alive and they're edible, just squeeze them a little bit. And if they're alive, they should go back in. But like that guy, oh, the perfect example. Still alive, so it's a good one to eat. We'll add some of that. All right, and at that point, we're gonna put some red wine in there and deglaze the pan with it. And I think it's very important to have good wine next to you while you're cooking because you can drink it also and cook with it. Our risotto's done. Has a nice yellow color to it. And then we're gonna throw this right into this pot with all the tomatoes and everything in there. Throw that in there. And then we just put our seafood right into this pot. And at this point, this is when I throw the abalone in there because we're just finishing the dish with it. We're not gonna cook it, the rest of the seafood. So after we throw all that into the pot, we're gonna plate it just right into the bowl. This is what we do at the restaurant. So we're just gonna throw all of this into the bowl. All right. We're gonna garnish it with some green onions and parsley. And take the time to make your dish beautiful. We do eat with our eyes, so when a dish is put in front of you, you're automatically gonna think if it looks good, it's gonna taste good. So take the time, make your dish look amazing. So we'll chop up the parsley a little bit. Chop up the green onions. And we'll just throw all this right on top. And then can't forget the crostinis to soak up all the juices. And that's the Sea Venture. Please come up to the restaurant and enjoy our tapas menu and our main dining menu. Amazing views, beautiful sunset. So please come join us at the Sea Venture on the 3rd floor of the Sea Venture Resort.